Hi guys, and welcome to Imagine Your Craft with Mr. Drake. And of course, I'm me, Mr. Drake, and I'm so glad that you guys tuned in today. I have not one, not two, not three, but 4 simple crafts for us to make today. And we're going to use all 4 of these simple crafts to make our very own imagination village. And the best part about these crafts is that you can find most of the materials to make it at your home. So grab a parent and let's get started. First, you'll need a piece of construction paper, 3 empty rolls of toilet paper, 1, 2, 3. 1 white sheet of paper, 1 pair of scissors, a few markers, and some tape. All right, now let's start with our 3 little pigs craft. First, you're going to get 1 toilet paper roll, all right? And then we're going to need our white piece of paper. And we're going to line this up on the short side of the paper, not the long side, because we don't need that much paper to wrap around this whole piece of toilet paper. So we're going to line it up on the edge there, and we're going to make a little mark right there, and we're going to move it to the bottom. And we're going to make a little mark right there. All right? Now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to cut from mark to mark, because then we know that it's going to fit around our piece of toilet paper. All right, so see how this wraps around perfectly now? Perfect, right? All right. Now, before we attach our paper, I think we should draw what we want our house to look like. So, for example, this was my wood house. And then here's my house of straw. And here's my house of brick. It's just a little easier to go ahead and draw your house out just like that on this blank piece of paper before we attach it. And you can make your house look any way you want to. So I'm going to use one of these. Let's start with the straw house. So you're going to act like this is this piece of paper. So now I've drawn my house. And I'm going to wrap it around my piece. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape and attach it. Ooh, it's starting to look like a little house there, isn't it? All right, now a house needs a roof, right? Let's go over that. So you're going to need your piece of construction paper. I decided to use red, but you can use any color you want. You're going to need to draw a big circle in the middle of the paper. You could use a bowl or a cup or anything to make a perfect circle here. And then you're going to cut this circle out. And after you cut the circle out, you'll cut it in half so that it looks like this. All right? So we went from here to here. Then you're going to grab both of these corners here and bring them together just like that. And we're going to take another piece of tape and place it right there so it doesn't go anywhere. And what do you know? A little house. Oh, and how easy was that? Keep in mind, you don't have to do the 3 little pigs house. Maybe you're going to build a house for a fairy or for the 7 dwarfs from Snow White. Whatever little house you want to make, you just follow these guidelines. First, you'll need 1 piece of construction paper, 1 marker, some yellow yarn, scissors, an old cylinder container, and tape. And now it's time to make Rapunzel's tower. Alright, so this one you aren't going to have to do as much cutting. Yay! Alright, so first you're going to take that piece of construction paper that you have, and you're just going to make sure, let's just make sure that it fits around our canister. Now if you'll notice, it doesn't go around all the way, does it? That's okay, because later on we're going to add some details to help with that. And you see all this extra up here? Don't worry about that either. That's going to actually help us out later. So we know that it fits. Okay, so let's lay it back down. I know that I want my castle to look like a stone tower. All right, so this is when you would use your marker. Just like the little pig's house, it's going to be easier if you put your details on your paper before we tape it to our cylinder. All right, and let me show you what mine ended up looking like. Mine ended up looking like this. See how I have all the stonework, and all I did was take a marker. Now remember all that extra we had at the top? I just used that to make little points in the castle, to give it that real castle feel. So, now that you've done all this, you've drawn and you're ready to put it on the cylinder, right? So, we're going to take our cylinder and we'll wrap it around, and we're going to take a piece of tape or a few pieces of tape. And now we have a pretty good looking tower, don't we? You remember how we had that extra? And look, that ended up helping us out. It really looks like a tower now. Oh, but we're missing something. That's right, the hair. So you're going to take your yarn, okay? And I like to put a little knot in it almost, because then it looks like her head, right? And you're going to pick just the side of it, just the side of your tower. And you're going to take a piece of tape, or you can use glue or staples, whatever you prefer. And then we have her long flowing hair off the side, right? And now we've made Rapunzel's tower. First, you'll need 2 pieces of green construction paper. Next, you'll need 2 paper towel rolls. Then you'll need different colored green pipe cleaners. And lastly, tape. All right, now we're going to start on our Beanstalk Craft. And look, if you've noticed, we've upgraded from toilet paper rolls to paper towel rolls. So exciting. All right, so you're going to take your 2. Now you're going to have your tape handy. We want to put these together because we want our beanstalk to be nice and tall. So we're going to line them up, and then we're going to take a long piece of tape and try to go all the way around. All right, now I've got it put together enough, and add as much tape as you feel like you need to where your beanstalk is not going to break. I'm going to do 3, just to be safe. Magic number 3. All right, now we have our double beanstalk. All right, next we're going to take our construction paper, and we're going to take it along the long side. You see, that wouldn't go all the way down, right? We're trying to cover as much of the beanstalk as we can. Now we're going to wrap this around. And again, On this one, we don't have to use as much cutting as we have in the past on our other crafts. We're going to take a piece of tape, tape that down, and you can make your beanstalk any color you want, but I decided to make mine classic green, just like from Jack and the Beanstalk. Now you're going to take that second piece of paper, and we're going to fold it around as well. All right, and don't worry about seeing that tape because we're going to cover that up with some vines in just a minute. So we're going to tape this down. All right, looking more like a beanstalk, right? And this is the fun part too, because we don't have to use glue or anything, because we're going to use these colorful green bright pipe cleaners to look like vines going down the beanstalk. So my trick with this is I make a little hook here at the top of one of my pipe cleaners so that it can hook onto the top just like that. Hook right there. Give it a nice pinch so that you know it's secure. And now we're going to just make it as crazy or windy, or you can just spiral it all the way down as you want. So I have my first color. Let's try bright green this time. So the same thing, we're going to put our little hook, all right? We give it a squeeze to make sure it's nice and tight, and then we're going to spin it around. But this we can use, see how this one's going to kind of fling out like that? We could take another one and pinch it off, and then we just continue on. Maybe we do this number right here. You can make these vines as natural or as swirly or crazy colored as you want. You just keep doing that, put on as many vines as you want, and then you'll have yourself a beanstalk. First, you'll need a couple pieces of construction paper for the outside of your castle. Then you'll need some tape, a marker, a pair of scissors, and some more construction paper for your roof. Grab toilet paper and your paper towel rolls. And if you'd like, grab your cylinder as well. And now let's work on our castle. So first, what we're going to grab is our different paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls. And the funnest part about this craft is that you can stack 2 paper towel rolls together, or you could stack a bunch of toilet paper rolls together to make a tower. That's what I did here with this one. See how 3 put together? You can kind of build them as tall or as small as you would like. So this is the paper that I used to build the outside of my castle. Now, like I said before in our last crafts, like the 3 Little Pigs craft, remember how I said it was a little easier to draw on the construction paper before we roll it around? Yes. So, that's exactly what I did. Now, on this one, I decided to use this for my cylinder. I made it exactly like Rapunzel's castle. I didn't have to cut as much. The paper matched perfectly. Remember how we had that space there? And then I just taped it on. And then that's part of my castle there. All right. And if you had to say, I think that would be the big front door, right? Okay. So, like we saw before, I put these 3 together. Now, of course, I can't use just one big piece of paper. I had to cut it down a little bit, not much. So I used it. There's my little window. I drew it on before. Now sometimes it's good to wrap it before to see if it'll match up. Because see how that's overlaying that? I'll have to try to wrap it a different way. Just to make sure everything's going to line up just the way we want it to, right? There's my little window. And again, we're going to tape it. And there's a tower. It's a little tower. Maybe if we put them together, it's starting to look a little more like a castle, huh? But castle needs a roof, just like we did with the Three Little Pigs house. Now, if you don't remember how to make your roof, you just are going to refer back to the Little Pigs craft and how I made a circle on the red paper just like this one. If you forgot how to make it, you can go back and look at that one. But here I've got the completed product. Maybe you'll remember it now that you see it. So then I can just pop it on top just like that. And sometimes you might have to resize it to make sure it matches perfectly. Now you know how to make your front door and your towers. And again, you can make your towers as short or as tall as you want. So I think it's time for you to start building, and I think I've told you enough. All right, good luck on your castle. Here are some different ways you can set up your castle. This is my imagination village. And as you see, I use some of the skills and tips we learned from building the Three Little Pigs house and Rapunzel's tower to create a beautiful castle. And you can do the same exact thing. Now I added some fancy things to mine, and you can too. That's Hansel and Gretel's little cottage. And to top it all off, we have the mighty Beanstalk. And you can make your beanstalk as wacky and crazy as you would like. I hope your village turns out beautiful. I know I love mine. Now I want to see your guys' creation. Go on our Facebook page, and on this post in the comment section, put a photo or a video of your imagination village. Oh, I can't wait to see what you guys have created.